What is the best thing in Minecraft? Is it the elytra or is it the elytra? Is it wheat or is it beet? Is it vegan food or is it meat? That's poetry, as if words are speaking to my soul. Well, I'll tell you what, my favorite thing to do in Minecraft is crop farming. So today's episode is going to be all about farming. But first, there's something that I want to try. So Antonio says, place dirt, then place flour, then add dirt to the side of the flour, then add top snow on top of the flour by tapping the dirt next to the flour. Then remove side dirt. Then place scaffolding in flour. And voila! Now please tell me I can break that block. Oh. But I can at least use this as a unique decoration, so thanks Antonio. But anyway now, back to crop farming. Let me tell you a story, son. Back in our days, we used to work in the field all day. We wore hats made out of straw. We didn't have money for them expensive Gucci hats. Then we didn't even know what Gucci was. All we knew was hardship. Unlike you young lads, sitting on that couch, digging your eyeballs into that phone 12 hours a day. Damn, I'm 69 years old, and I still have better eyesight than you. Grandpa, stop embarrassing me. So, what I was thinking is we can have a shallow sloping field over here where we could farm all sorts of crops. And for that, we're gonna have to do a fair bit of terraforming. Now I can go ahead and do that manually by hand, placing every block, but why should I when I'm magic? So let's do this in 3, 2, and look at that. That's so epic. Sometimes I even surprise myself with how good I am at magic. And I really like how this turned out to be. Look at how gradual the slopes are. And it's just perfect for crop farming. The land just calls for it. Like, grow crops on me, please. Or something like that. I don't know. But there's also a teeny tiny problem that we have. So this cliff is not big enough. And the farmland over here is kind of falling off the cliff right now. So yeah, that's kind of weird. So what I'm going to have to do is encroach. Well, technically not, because there's no law in Minecraft and the entire world belongs to me. Anyway, so what I was thinking is that I want to pull the mountain out a little. But not much though, only a few blocks beyond where I'm standing right now. Like beyond this point. And then I can carry that this way to where I want to lead it to. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this sooner, but all this land that I'm building right now is gonna go towards the farmhouse structure itself. Because at this point, I'm quite satisfied with how big the farmlands are right now. So all of this is just gonna be a platform for the farmhouse. So we'll get some progress on this, and I'll see you guys in a bit, alright? And feast your eyes upon this beauty, which is slowly taking shape, must I add. But look at how changed this place is now. I pulled the mountain out, built a platform for the farmhouse. And I also laid it down so I kind of have an idea as to where it's gonna go. And the reason I'm calling this a platform is because that's what it is. There is no face to the mountain, and it's just 1 block thick. I at least like my custom terrain to be 2 blocks thick, so I have some ground space to work with. And we'll do that eventually, but for now, I want to focus on what's above the mountain. As you can see, I've already made a lot of progress. I made this path over here, and I've been grinding away at the fields. Sadly, I do not have enough seeds just yet to cover the entire thing, but I'm working on it. We'll get there eventually. You guys want to take a look at this place from above? Okay then, let's Riptide Trident into the air. Whee! Looks pretty cool, right? It's gonna look even better when I'm done with it. And the reason why there are carrots on this side is because I wanted to stockpile a lot of carrots, because carrots are one of the most profitable trading crops. Because carrots and potatoes are one of the few crops that you can fortune, which of course leads to a higher yield. You can also fortune crops like wheat and beet, but the fortune only applies to the seeds, so you end up with more seed and less wheat, and that's not really fun. But enough of the fields, right? Let's get started with the build. So for the base of the build, i.e. the ground floor, I'm thinking a mixture of stone bricks, stone and andesite. I also want to make a gradient with it, so it's going to be something like this. Stone brick, stone, and then andesite at the top. But anyway, I'll get this done and I'll see you guys in a bit. And there it is. And the gradient just turned out to be perfect. And almost looks castle-like. You know, it's funny how whenever you think of building a castle, the first block that comes to your mind is the types of stone, you know. Stone bricks, stone, andesite, granite, or other grey blocks. Primarily grey blocks. And they seem to be the obvious choice, right? Grey blocks in castles look the best. But we never think about using materials like logs, spruce logs, oak logs, any sort of logs. And if you're making castles out of logs, then you're either stupid or stupidly talented. But anyway, now let's make ourselves the second floor. And for that, I'm going to use diorite with stripped spruce log tutor. So let me get this done, and I'll see you in a bit. And there she is. Beautiful. And one can never deny the fact that diorite is a beautiful block indeed. Especially after the texture was updated in the 1.14 update. I also mixed in some white concrete in it, so it's not all diorite and all busy, you know, it just helps to cut it out a little and makes it look smoother, shall I say. Now there's nothing much of interest over here, so how about I go ahead and finish the build, and then we can tour it together. It is done. Are you guys ready for this? Alright then, I'm gonna turn around in 3, 2... Absolutely amazing. And I love how it fades away in the fog. It makes it look like it's quite far away from us. Let's enjoy this little walk down this path over here. Don't that look so good? I've used dark oak and grey concrete for the roof over here. And then the main roof also has a spruce wood trim to it, which I really love. I think it looks so cool. And then there are those pokey things at the ends over there. I don't know what those are called. But they do look pretty nice, so I'm fine with them. Okay, it's getting dark. And a good morning. Man, I'm so scared of the nights. And I forgot to open these trapdoors. Oopsie. By the way, my fear of nights has a reason to it. Recently I had a creeper incident and like half of my field was blown up. Wheat field. And that was sad. Anyway, there are a couple of interesting details in this house. Like this vine over here. It's one of those ones that can almost dig into rough surfaces. And then there's this storage shade that I quite like. And then the back for now is empty, but I have plans for it and I'll do it when I'm doing the interiors. Anyway, so these nuke boxes over here are supposed to represent baskets, and the oak pressure plate on top of it is supposed to be some kind of a wheat or something. Basically, it's like a basket filled with crops, most probably wheat. And these dark oak gates over here are supposed to be handles of the basket, which you might put on your shoulders and carry the basket like a backpack. I thought it was a cool little detail to add. And this little space over here is supposed to be for the donkey, which the farmer uses to transport his crops across the land. The interior is empty, and there are holes in my ceiling. Oh, I forgot that. There's even a hole in the wall over here. Anyway, I'll do that later. What I want to do now is take some cobblestone and add some finishing touches to the farmland. So here at the edges, where it seems like it's about to fall apart, I want to have a line of cobblestone, radiating between slabs, stairs and walls. I think that would add more character, not just to the fields, but to the location in general. Yeah, something like that doesn't look too bad. I think I like it. I also wanted to carry the path all the way around the field, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it starts over here at the top and curls all the way around the wheat field. And look at how much immersion that creates. It looks so much better now. And I always loved walking on tiny parts like this one. This makes me so happy. And then the golden yellow wheat, of course. It looks stunning. You know, wheat is arguably one of the most aesthetic crops in the game. I mean, just look at this thing. How can you not like that? The new 1.14 textures. just changed the game forever. And even though the old texture was iconic, I like this one better. Oh, and there's also a path on the other side that curls around the carrot field and links to the main one down there. It also gives you more angles to look at the build from, so it's always a good thing. However, I do need to add more detail to it. But anyway guys, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. Also, if you've made it this far, why don't you consider subscribing? By the way, if you guys want a tutorial on this build, get this video to 8 likes and I'll make it happen.